So now we finally get our final Beat the Clock Challenge match of the night. Mark Henry, who was all excited, I was all happy to see Mark Henry come out because he's back to being his angry heel self, and then he starts celebrating with the fans. But his opponent, Dolph Ziggler, restored my faith that Mark Henry is indeed the heel of this match. So we got Mark Henry versus Dolph Ziggler. This was a fun match, but I will say these guys don't necessarily have the chemistry that I had hoped that they would have.
No, they don't have the chemistry for sure. But you know what I think really worked to the advantage of this match was the beat the clock environment because it created this sense of drama.
Dude,
Because
nobody does desperate better than Ziggler.
no, yeah, you're absolutely right about that, dude, for sure. Because the thing is, even though RVD was in this thing and he had the best time, knowing how the WWE is with Ziggler and how the fans are with Ziggler, like he could work with a mid-card guy like Fandango 1 week and then maybe find himself, getting in Batista's face the next. So it's like that chaotic nature of his placement on the card. So really made me believe, well, maybe he could snuff Henry out in enough time and go on to face Bad News Barrett at Payback. But unfortunately, despite Dolph's best efforts, which included a modified Famouser on the big man and 2 drop kicks right on the button, it wasn't enough because Henry would go for the world's strongest slam. Ziggler would land on his feet, kick Henry's leg out from underneath him, hit the zigzag, and with 5 seconds left, he didn't make the cover in time. And my heart just broke for Dolph.
Like I said, man, nobody does desperate better than Ziggler. He is the absolute king of sympathetic babyface psychology between his body language, his facial expressions, he freaking nails it, man. The only guy anywhere close to in his league at that is Seth Rollins.
Yeah, without a doubt. It almost makes me wonder if because, Dolph got so close and it was a bit controversial because had he just had a bit more time, he would have gotten it. Maybe he'll beat Bad News Barrett before Payback and we get a triple threat for the title. I mean, I doubt it, but just the way he came so close and came up short. I mean, man, that hits you hard.
But then, after the tragic, just a little bit too late cover, RVD's music hits and he comes out celebrating like a complete douchebag, like, yeah, Ziggler, what are you gonna do now? And then he gets nailed from behind by Bad News Barrett, which, I mean, I don't know about you, but personally, I reveled in it. And here's the thing. Let me just say this before I actually say exactly what Bad News Barrett said here. Is it just me, or is it hilarious that good old JR said something about how, oh, it's so nice to see an old school heel like Wade Barrett using an eye rake to win a match. And now, tonight, he 100% pandered to the crowd.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that to me, I think you and I both saw that coming from a mile away because of where we were.
Yeah, dude, but, like, here's my thing. And again, it might have been like the Bryan fake out earlier. Maybe I just fell for it, but I seriously thought, like, the whole time, Barrett says something about how right here in England, and I'm thinking he's gonna call it like a freaking stinkhole or something. Like, I'm so glad that I got out of this trash infested place or something, because he's like that old school heel, right? But no, he just keeps on singing the place's praises and talking about how he's gonna destroy RVD. It's like, oh, okay, so you're a babyface now, and then next week he's gonna come out and do the exact opposite and actually be a good heel. So it's clearly the old Ric Flair syndrome because he is the number one babyface in the company in England.
Oh, without a doubt, dude. I think people who have that kind of, nationalistic pride whenever they're in their country, because you never know how often you get to be there, they're going to capitalize on the opportunity. It's like when Edge headlined the Unforgiven 2006 pay-per-view TLC in Toronto.
Oh, why would
totally
you bring
that crowd.
One match that I can honestly say was the final nail in John Cena's pure babyface coffin, and you bring that up?
Yeah. I mean, well, it's the truth, though, because he totally played up to that crowd. I mean, completely. So yeah, I just think those nationalistic baby faces, man, or nationalistic heels when they are in their home country just totally become baby faces. And yeah, he cut the promo on RVD, pretty much said that they gave the US the concept of time. And, RVD's time's pretty much run out at Payback because there's no way that he's going to take the Intercontinental Championship from him. And the whole crowd just reveled in it. I did too. RVD learned his place. All is right with the world.
Absolutely. So, oh, and by the way, the closing line was, "There's no way I'm gonna lose to a bloody Yank at Payback." I love
And then the smiley out on his face just made it absolutely golden.
That's the thing. Like we say, we reveled in it. I don't think anyone revels in Bad News Barrett promos more than Bad News Barrett.
He really looks like he's having fun with his work, and as long as you're doing that, doesn't matter what accolade you hold or what spot on the card you're in, you're doing things right.
Absolutely. All right. So up next we have a Renee Young in the middle of the ring. She brings out Adam Rose and the Exotic Express, the mobile party. The Rosebuds come out first. They start dancing to the weird, trippy Indian sounding music, and then Breakaways hits, and we get the Adam Rose experience. So he comes out. Crowd is super into it. He does his trust fall into the party, and they carry him over. He basically does his normal entrance, gets in the ring, and Renee says that he's taken the WWE by storm, and he says hello to London, and then he asks where his cheeseburger is. Where's my cheeseburger? And yeah, he finds his cheeseburger and says he has sesame seeds on his buns. So they're taking him to see the doctor next week. And then he's like, where's my nurse? Do I have a nurse? And he doesn't, but he does have a female Captain America. So he pulls her up and says, you'll be my nurse. And it's just like, it's completely bizarro at this point. And I love it because it's random and funny. But at one point, the crowd's going nuts. The crowd sings his theme song beat for beat, and they are really into it. But at one point, while they're singing his theme, the theme representing the Real Americans, that being Zeb and Jack Swagger, hit, and the Lemons show up to the party.
Yeah, it doesn't take long for them to crash it. Pretty much Zeb Coulter says, it really perplexes him how Adam Rose got into America, or pretty much how he, got into England as well, even though he believes that immigration security in England is more lax than the U.S., and he certainly fits in better with England, these freaks in England, than he does back in the U.S., and pretty much says, my beef is with you, tells Jack Swagger to back up, and that he's going to take care of this, and yeah, Adam Rose also does mention in response like his dancing bunny, who actually does some legit break dancing. Me and Ash were both blown away. Ashton's like, "Who's behind the bunny costume?" And I want to know the same thing because I'm always curious who the actual Rosebuds are, who's getting that TV time.
Yeah, but more importantly, I want to know who the Penguin is.
Yeah, there was a penguin too, so Adam Rose is definitely animal friendly. I mean, all the animals he's got in his party going on, and pretty much Zeb lays down the gauntlet to Adam Rose. Says, you and me, we take care of our business right now. Jack looks like he's backing up, and then Adam Rose looks like he's going to comply. Tell his Exotic Express, to get out of the ring. Swagger starts beating him from behind. And then Swagger, feeling like a tough guy, pretty much gets in everybody's face. The bunny, some guy in a pink shirt, like everybody. Just pretty much like, look at what I'm doing. I'm a heel, audience. Do you hate me yet? And then he turns around and he gets met with a bunch of fists to the face after Adam Rose takes him down, sending both of them scurrying. And Adam Rose says, sometimes you gotta fight, 'cause it's party time. All the time. I really wanted him to say sometimes you gotta fight for your right to party and make that
I
reference.
know, it would have been so perfect.
Like, what a missed opportunity. WWE is all about those missed opportunities.
How do you not quote the Beastie Boys in that situation? Seriously.
Dude, I know. It's like WWE lately with their segments like this have so many missed opportunities. I mean, Brie with Steph's reaction to Brian leaving in an ambulance. Now this, I'm like, come on, guys, just that little bit further. You're like right at the finish line. So they celebrate, and you know what? I don't know, man. Like this was a great crowd, though. This is an amazing crowd, as you said, singing his theme song beat for beat. I just hope it kind of carries over into next week.
Yeah.
I know all great gimmicks take time, but I don't know. The more like they seem unresponsive or uncaring, and I think part of the problem is, like you said, they are kind of pairing Adam Rose with guys who can be considered to a degree baby faces with how they act. I just want this gimmick to get over, and I'm really hoping it does, and it's kind of worrisome that it hasn't really gotten much momentum yet, with the exception of tonight, because the crowd was amazing.
Dude, this segment gave me hope for Adam Rose. And it's not because, oh, he's such an amazing talker or anything like that. It's actually because of the brief little beatdown that he had on Swagger, because it reminded me, holy crap, this is still Leo Kruger. Like, this is still that guy. He's still amazing in the ring, and we shouldn't allow ourselves to forget that he is that good in the ring just because now all of a sudden he's a prissy party boy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And see, that's the thing. Because of WWE's handling of Rose thus far, just doing these talking segments and showing off the Exotic Express, you might forget how great he is between the ropes and how legitimate his offense is and just how legitimate he is as an in-ring performer. I am so glad we got that reminder, and I'm really hoping, and I have no reason to think that we won't, that it'll be Swagger versus Adam Rose at Payback. Personally, I see it being the Payback kickoff match, but we'll see
Dude,
what
I don't
placement.
know if it's going to be a kickoff match. I don't know if it's even going to be on the pay-per-view, but I am so genuinely looking forward to Adam Rose's first match. And I hope it gets 10 plus minutes because I feel like there's been a void left by the absence of Leo Kruger. And it's because the only matches that we've seen him in on NXT were like 2 or 3 minute squash matches where he got cutesy, he showed off a signature spot or two, and then he won with varying different types of finishers. The first one being the slice, which is something that he carried over from the Leo Kruger gimmick. But regardless, I want to see him in a legitimate 10-minute match where we actually get to see him be him. I want to see the inner hunter come out, man.
Yeah, dude, you and me both. I mean, Leo Kruger to me was one of my favorite gimmicks on NXT. I really wanted it to make the main roster, and I really have gotten behind Adam Rose because I love the man behind Adam Rose, just as I love the man behind all those other gimmicks because he's just so good, and I just can't wait to see him compete again because really, like, that's what I want to see. Like, these segments are great and everything, but only when they're peppered throughout his actual in-ring competition. So let's get on that bus, WWE, and I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Oh man, like tonight felt like such a tease. Seriously.
Yeah, it really did. It really did.
Oh man, it's gonna be awesome when he finally gets in the ring and gets a good match going because uh, I don't know. I really like it when they debut people and let them kind of show off in an exhibition match or two, kind of like what they're doing with Rusev. But in the case of Adam Rose, when I know what he's capable of in the ring, I get sick of it real fast, and I just want to see him get that legitimate match. So I feel like I'm starting to repeat myself, so I'm going to just go ahead and move on and talk about what we had next.